Pronunciations, pronunciations, pronunciations. We are just about to handle those tricky words in pronunciation. I'm Willice Ochieng telling you now. Listen, listen, and listen carefully so that you get the soundings right. And we go straight to the first group of words. They are three. Now, you say upload. To upload, not uploud. Don't say uploud. The A and U function as a digraph. That is a vowel digraph and represents the long sound O. Upload. Don't say upload. Clear? You also say load. To load something or somebody. To load. L-A-U-D. Don't say loud. You say load. To load. Clear? Then you say fraud. Fraud, not fraud. Fraud, no. Fraud. That is the way to pronounce the last word in this group. You get them clearly? Great. Now let's move on and we come to this other group, which is also having that AU. And that AU still takes the long sound O. For instance, you say applause. Applause. Don't say applause. Applause, no. Applause. Applause is the right pronunciation. Then, the next one, you say close. Close, not close. Close, close, no. You say close. Close. Then, the last one in this group, you say pause. To pause, not to pause. So, the AU is a digraph. Taking which sound? The long sound O. Pause, close, applause. Clear? Good. Now let's move on and we have another group still having AU in the word that I have collected for you. Now, you say launch. To launch something, not lounge. Launch. Lounge, no. Then you also say paunch. Paunch, not pounce. Paunch. And lastly, you say staunch. A staunch supporter. Staunch, not staunch. Do you get them clearly? Good. Now let's move on and we come now to words that have the ending ICE. We have the word ice. ICE, ice. But you have to be very careful. Not all words that have the ending ICE have the sounding ice. Now, let's take a look at these three. The first one, you say, I wanted to give you that chance to try. And you say hospice. Hospice. Don't say hospice. Hospice, no. Hospice. Then the second one, you say novice. Novice, not novice. Then lastly, you also say prejudice. Prejudice. Whether the word functions as a verb or as a noun. You simply say prejudice without prejudice or to prejudice something or somebody. You get it clearly? Prejudice, not prejudice. Clear? Cool. Now let's move on and we get to the words that people also find a bit tricky. Now, we have the word along. Along. But please, don't say among. Among, no. That is inaccurate in pronunciation. You say among. Among, not among. Among is a no. Clear? Then you say amongst. Amongst. Don't say amongst. Amongst, no. Amongst, no. You simply say amongst. amongst. Then lastly, you say tongue. Tongue, the organ. His or my tongue. Your tongue. Don't say your tongue. Tongue, no. Tongue, amongst, among. The O in these words takes the mid-central sound A. Among, amongst, tongue. Clear? Great. Now, lastly, some words have letter H, but that H is not pronounced. In the first place, I want to remind you that we don't say H. H, no. You call that letter H. The name by which that letter is identified or called in the English alphabet is H. H. Can you say H? H. Now, can you say H? For the last time, so that you don't use it again. Can you say H? H? But don't call that letter like that. It is called, or it is identified as H. H is the name of that letter. Clear? So, we can have H in certain words, but it is not pronounced. But you find many people innocently pronouncing it in those words in the English vocabulary. Now, I have 3 words for you, and it may be a surprise to many people. Now, the first word, can you say it? Can you say the first word? Many people are used to saying, we find ourselves saying, rehabilitate. Rehabilitate, no. Avoid that. Rehabilitate. Rehabilitate is the pronunciation of the first word. To rehabilitate. Rehabilitation, not rehabilitation. The only word in which you pronounce or articulate that H is rehab. A rehab. But for this one, you say rehabilitate, then the noun form is rehabilitation. Have you always known that? Have you been knowing that? Rehabilitate, rehabilitation. That is the way to pronounce them. Clear? Then the next one. How do you say it? Posthumous, no. No. Posthumous, no. Very common, but wrong. You say posthumous. Posthumous. Believe you me, that H is not pronounced or articulated in that word. You simply say posthumous, not posthumous. No, you don't give somebody an award posthumously. No, posthumously. Posthumous, posthumously. Tricky but manageable. Then lastly, vehemently. Vehemently. Avoid saying vehemently. Vehemently, no. As common as it is, imagine it is wrong. You say vehemently. The officers vehemently refused to divulge any further information about the incident. Vehemently, not vehemently, that we commonly hear around us and innocently use without knowing that the H in this word is not pronounced. So, can we now go for the 3 words? The first one, maybe still tricky but manageable. Rehabilitate. Rehabilitate. The second one, posthumous. Posthumous. And the adverb is posthumously. Posthumously. Not posthumous, posthumously. No. Avoid such pronunciations. They are wrong. Then, lastly, the last one. I have just pronounced the last word. Can you try? Can you give it a good try or your best? Vehemently. Vehemently, not vehemently. Clear? Yes, it's great always to get the pronunciations right in any language. So, you try your best to get them right. I'm Willice Ochieng, sharing with you from Kenya, and I always remind you, please ensure that you like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, that is Willice Ochieng. And for now, I just have to tell you, bye.